How much longer are we going to do this? Like, for real. How much longer until you just realize that then you can't be nice?
I mean, I realize that
I want
part.
a number. How much longer?
I'm thinking like 6 weeks. I'm going to give it 6 weeks because if this thing is happening with this buyer, potential buyer, if it's not in contract in 6 weeks.
And you stick your attorney on him.
Yep. Yeah.
It's time for you to end the nice girl era. Like, it's not benefiting you. It's only benefiting him.
Hi, besties. Welcome back to my channel. So, Meri Brown, she is going to get, I guess, some lessons from Jen about how to be not nice to Kody. And before I dive into this clip, I want to just talk about something. There's this AI channel that made this video about Meri Brown, and the video has like 500,000 views, and it's completely fabricated. It's completely false. It's a Sister Wives channel. I think it has like 10,000 subscribers. It's an AI created video, and it claims that Meri won her court case against Kody. There was literally no court case for Coyote Pass. Nothing. Nothing of the sort. It didn't happen. It didn't exist. There was no testimony. There was no court filings. There was no trial. Nothing. This never went anywhere. And people keep making comments to me about this video. And I don't know what to tell people other than if you see a channel and it has something like Sister Wives TV or Sister Wives content or something like that, and the video has thumbnails that look almost like they've turned Meri into a cartoon, and it has claims of that they went to court and lost, or they went to court and won. Another video by a similar channel just like this also claims that Robin and Kody had a nanny and the salary for the nanny was $80,000 a year. Also not true, like at all. There's another video on one of these channels that claims that Kody was behind child support by over $100,000, according to Christine. That's also not true. It was not in Christine's book. So just be careful when you see these kinds of titles from channels that appear to be newer. They're not true. There was no court case for Meri and Janelle when it comes to Coyote Pass. But in this week's episode, what is going to happen is Jen's going to give Meri a lesson on how to be more stern and assertive when it comes to Kody. And, you know, Meri is an assertive and stern person on her own, but when it comes to Kody, I guess she has a hard time putting her foot down. And that's a lot of the programming from this culture where women are basically supposed to like always give the man what he wants and not talk back.
Happening with this buyer, this potential buyer, if it's not in contract in 6 weeks.
Then you stick your attorney on him.
Yep. Yeah.
It's time for you to end the nice girl era. Like, it's not benefiting you. It's only benefiting him.
Yeah, it is.
So then why are you doing it? It's like self-inflicted pain at this point.
Because I don't want to be a bitch.
You know what? Join me on the dark side.
I feel for Meri sometimes because I feel like she took the wrath of Kody for such a long time, and he really smeared her to the family, right? Like he made her the scapegoat for everything. They couldn't get mad at Kody because in this culture, you can't get mad at the guy. So instead of getting mad at the guy, you get mad at each other. And the guys don't have to take responsibility for anything, and you can't go against the priesthood authority of your home. And so it's commonplace for a wayward wife who's disobedient to become the family scapegoat, which she was. She was the family scapegoat. She was estranged from the family. They told all kinds of stories about her. They took out all their frustration out on her. And sure, she wasn't probably the nicest to deal with, but I feel like she's probably had to deal with his bad behavior and his anger for so long that she's just like, I don't want to have to deal with him. I don't want to have to like be mean to him. And I think another thing with Kody is that when they do get like forceful with him, like when Janelle and him had that fight, he just didn't talk to her for months, right? Like she got mad at him, she yelled at him, they got into that fight and he stormed off. And then she and Kody didn't speak for, I think she said 3 months. So I think maybe for Meri, she might be afraid that if she does get bitchy here, that she will become, iced out by him because that's what he does. But this actually gets pretty funny because Jen walks her through how to be a bitch.
I just feel like it's important for you to have bitch lessons so that you can say the things that sometimes maybe you think, but then you're like, oh, that shouldn't come out of my mouth. And it should come out of your mouth. Repeat after me. You do not control me.
You do not control me.
Less smile.
Oh, you don't control me.
Ooh, I like that. That was actually really bitchy.
Bitch.
Ooh, that's.
During the whole breakup between Kody and Meri, I kept waiting for her to go off and like pop off and explode. And she just like never did. She never raised her voice. She never engaged with him or got angry with him. The walking away where they were at the picnic table where Robin was hyperventilating and having a meltdown, she was very just mellow about the whole thing. And it's probably because it's been years, right? But it would have been slightly satisfying, at least a little bit, to see her stand up for herself in a way where she actually told him off. I think if anyone deserves to tell Kody off after everything that he's put her through for years and all the slandering he's done and all of the name calling he's done and the horrible things he said and how embarrassing and humiliating he was to her for years, Meri of all of these women deserves to have a final say with him where she actually puts up a fight and like stands up for herself. But Meri never really did because I think she always was just holding on to that slight hope that maybe he would become the guy that she remembered him to be. Like you're in a really toxic spinning relationship with someone and you hold on to that hope that he'll become who you thought he was, like that who he used to be. I think she was always just thinking he'll turn it around. He's gonna be the nice guy I remember him to be. He kept love bombing her and like dropping little like, crumbs to make her believe that things were gonna get better. So I think it kept her from really truly going off on him. I wish we would have just seen her one time actually tell him off. It would have been so satisfying, at least for me. What about you?
Get your together.
Get your together.
Good.
Okay, I like that one.
Yes. Comb your hair.
Comb your hair, Kody.
That one felt like when it came deep from your soul. I'm very proud of you. Bitch, where's my money? Bitch, where's my money? There you go. How's that? That was
good?
actually, it kind of gave me anxiety.
Oh, it gave me anxiety saying
it.
How many of you have watched the show for how many years? And every time they would talk about Kody's hair and the ladies would like gush over how great his hair was. Did any of you silently or very loudly like roll your eyes, snort, and be like, oh God, are you kidding? Are you serious? There has been 0 times when this show has been on the air that I've ever viewed Kody's hair as good. Like never once. When he had the hair that it was like shaggy and straight, I was like, dude, just cut your hair. It's not even fashionable. And then there was like the season where he was trying to look like Keith Urban. That was terrible. And ever since Robin told him how to diffuse his hair and use a curling iron and get products for his curly hair, the dude has lived in a perma state of over crunched curl that really doesn't look that great. And the hairline just continues to keep moving back and back and back. And he's got these like 4 hairs that stick out on the top of his head. And then he's got like a a U-shaped like bald spot on the side. So he's got like these 4 hairs. And then if you actually look at him from the top down, there's like this massive amount of hair that's missing in the middle. And then he's got the back of the head. And I honestly don't know why someone doesn't have a heart to heart with him and tell him that it's not a good look. Like just tell him to let go of those hairs. He looks like the guy that can't let go of the fact that he's going bald. And I don't know what it's like to go bald. I don't, but you would look better if you just embraced it. Like his brother, Michael, is bald. Most of his brothers are bald. Most of them have just accepted that they don't have the hair, they shave off their head, and they look fine. Kody can't handle it. And I don't believe for a minute that these ladies really thought that his hair was great. I think they just had to tell him that his hair was great. Like, remember how they'd be like, oh, I just love the beachy waves. And it's just like so much like a surfer. And I'm like, how many surfers do you know that have hair that looks like that? I would love one of them to tell him to cut his hair or shave it off or tell him what they really think of his hair. That would be like the best revenge because Kody is so vain and he thinks he is so all there. Do you know that way back in the very early seasons, they did an entire episode based upon his hair, and he went to a hairstylist who told him that his hair was thinning, and this was like 14 years ago, and she told him that maybe he should start thinking about shaving his head, and he said no. And she was like, he's like, she said I was gonna go bald soon. She said my hair is thinning. She says I'm losing my hair. I mean, that was like season 2, I think, or season 3. Here we are, season 20, and he has hanging on to those 4 hairs on the top of his head like his life depends upon it, and he's got a skullet, and it looks terrible. And he thinks he looks great. I can't. So I would love to hear Meri tell him to cut his hair. It would be the greatest thing ever. Like, this is the second time this season that someone has made fun of Kody's hair. Her other friend, when they did the eggplant painting, she did a picture with Kody and the hair was on the rooster and the hair was on his eggplant because he's losing his hair. Like, Kody's hair is like a meme at this point. I would love to hear Meri actually say these things to his face. It would be so satisfying. On the show, they do a lot of talking about confronting him. They do a lot of talking about like telling him off. And then when they get into his face, they never do it, except for Janelle. Christine and him never really had like a blowout fight. She was just done and she was like, I'm over it. I'm moving. You're not going to be in my house. And when he raised his voice at her, she didn't respond, which I understood why she was like that because she had a child that was underage. And so she's trying not to be like a bad role model and let Kody look like the lunatic. But man, they all deserve to have that moment where they scream and yell at him. And they could just be less Mormon and not be afraid to get angry. Part of this like culture is that they are so like afraid to say the wrong thing and they always have to like show their best face for the Mormon community or fundamentalist community. I just wish they would just like go all out and just let it all fly and be like, Kody, your hair is terrible. Get rid of your skullet, you maniac. That would get great views. Like if you could get this into like flipping tables, like get Teresa to come on to the Sister Wives, right? And let Teresa teach them how to flip some tables and kick some ass. If it could be like the Real Housewives of Sister Wives with a little bit more drama. But Jen does her best. And if Meri could actually say this to his face, that would be wonderful. We'll see if this is just the best we get for this, coming episode. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Meri will tell him off? Do you think Mary's scared to actually confront him in the reaction? Or do you think that this is all just, talk and it'll never happen? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.